Have you ever imagined wake up and find your entire source of income dead? What if the milk missed from the shelves? What if meat disappeared from the markets? What if, from 1 hour to another, horses, oxes, sheep, camels and donkeys simply dropped dead across the country? This is not fiction. This happened, and it was just one of 10 plagues that devastated Egypt. But this one, in particular, carries a gigantic economic, spiritual, and prophetic weight. Today, we will deeply explore the 5th plague of Egypt, the death of the livestock, and understand why this miracle was one of the most powerful acts of judgment in biblical history. The 5th plague of Egypt, a miracle devastation. Recorded in Exodus 9 verses 1 to 7, the 5th plague was a watershed in the confrontation between the God of Israel and the gods of Egypt. Unlike previous plagues, which affected the health, rivers, and even the comfort of Egyptians, this was a surgical and lethal attack on the basis of the national economy. Let's go to the text. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh and say to him, 'This is what the Lord, God of the Hebrews, says, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if you refuse to let him go, and still detain him, behold, the hand of the Lord will be upon your cattle that are in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep with a very grievous pestilence. And the Lord will make a separation between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt. And nothing shall die of all that belongs to the children of Israel.'" Exodus 9 verses 1 to 4. The economic weight of plague. It is impossible to understand the depth of this plague without understanding what livestock meant in ancient Egypt. Cattle were a symbol of wealth, status, and mobility. Horses and camels represented military strength and transportation. Oxen and donkeys supported agriculture. Sheep were a source of wool, food, and religious rituals. In other words, killing the herds was killing the heart of the country. And God did not kill them slowly. It was not a gradual process. It was a sudden plague, a violent and inevitable plague that ravaged the fields in a single day. And the Lord did this the next day, and all the cattle of the Egyptians died. But of the cattle of the children of Israel, not one died. Exodus 9 verse 6. This detail is crucial. No animal in Israel was touched. God didn't just send a plague. He made a clear division between those who were under his covenant and those who lived in rebellion. Before continuing, a very important invitation. If you like deep biblical content, revelations that unite faith, history, and context, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel now to receive videos that go beyond the surface and help you delve into the scriptures like never before. Activate the bell, like the video, and comment your opinion at the end. This helps us reach more people with the word. Now yes, let's get to the point. A war against the gods of Egypt. Each plague of Egypt was also a symbolic attack on one or more Egyptian gods. In the case of the 5th plague, the main target was the god Apis, represented by a sacred bull. Apis was considered a living manifestation of the god Ptah and later also associated with Osiris, the god of fertility and resurrection. His cult was so intense that when a sacred bull died, there was national mourning. Imagine, then, the impact of the death of not one, but thousands of oxen and bulls at the same time. It was as if God was annihilating Apis before the eyes of the people. In addition to Apis, the plague confronts other gods linked to nature and agriculture, such as Hathor, cow goddess of motherhood and fertility; Nevis, another bull god; Geb, god of the earth, who could not protect the animals of his own soil. The message was clear. No god of Egypt could protect his creations from the wrath of the Lord. A miracle of precision. It was not a common illness. It wasn't something natural. It was an act of direct and intelligent intervention. How can we explain a plague that only affects the herd of a population and does not cross the boundaries of neighboring people, even though they are in the same territory? The answer is simple. It was the hand of God. And once again, Pharaoh hardened his heart. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, none of the cattle of Israel had died. But Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he would not let the people go. Exodus 9 verse 7. This is a shocking point. Even faced with the miracle of Israel's preservation, even seeing selective destruction, Pharaoh refuses to surrender. And what does this mean for us today? The fifth plague of Egypt is a powerful reminder that God knows where to act. He touches exactly on man's point of pride. God's justice is not random. It comes with warning, it comes with purpose. Divine protection is real. While Egypt mourned its oxen, Israel saw its flock intact. Hardened hearts ignore even the impossible and end up reaping even worse consequences later. How many times have you ignored clear signs? How many times has God preserved your land of Goshen while chaos raged around you, and yet you continued to hesitate? This plague is not just a history lesson. It's a living warning. Spiritual disobedience has consequences, and the time of mercy has a limit. Conclusion: the power that separates, judges, and protects. The fifth plague of Egypt is one of the most emblematic because it exposes everything: the impotence of idols, God's justice, protection for the faithful, and the arrogance of a hardened heart. It is an invitation to reflect on who is really in control. If even Egypt, with its glory, wealth, and armies, was thrown to the ground because of disobedience and idolatry, what makes us think we are immune? Thank you very much for watching this far. If this message spoke to you, comment below what struck you most about this plague. Share with someone who needs to understand that God still acts, and acts with precision. See you in the next video. Until then,